Good morning, this is Amy, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to finish sewing your Bifold wallet today. This wallet we started last week. That has a zipper panel over here and card pocket panel and a little billfold. So today we're going to finish that. Maria, so what we're going to do to start is take our fabric A, that's 9 by 4.5, called interior panel 1. And lay that right side up, just like this. And then you take your card pocket and lay it on the left side, right side up, just like I'm doing. I'm matching the edges, and the zipper pocket you lay on the right side, just like this.
Okay.
So it ends up looking like this.
Okay.
And you have it laid out, and because you should have these two pieces done from your homework, right?
Right.
So now you're just going to grab this piece. It's 9 by 4.5. It doesn't have interfacing. Lay it right side up, and then you want to make sure your lining is laying flat on top there, like that, and then your zipper pocket just like this. And there should be about a 1/2 inch of this fabric showing between the fabric A. And now we're just going to pin, because we're going to sew.
Okay.
So we're going to sew all the way around all the edges, because we want to attach this card pocket panel and the zipper panel to this background fabric here.
Got it. And we use our sewing foot.
You can use your regular.
I mean, our walking foot.
You can try using your regular presser foot.
Okay.
If it's like too thick, I'm gonna go get my clips, because I couldn't even get my pin to it because of interfacing.
Yeah, I think I need my clips too.
Yeah, so use clips if it's too thick. What kind of fabric are you using?
What kind of fabric?
Well, yeah, how thick is your fabric?
Oh, they're just quilting cotton.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a quilting foot?
Yeah, I do have a quilting foot. A walking
cool.
foot, I mean a walking foot.
A walking foot? Yeah. Have you ever used it?
Yeah, because I'm a
good.
quilter.
So you're a quilter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So so you know how to use it, so you can you know how to get it attached. And
yes.
Okay, great. Then you should definitely use it for this. I'm gonna change out mine too. I haven't put it in yet because I was gonna show everyone on the video. Or yeah, I'll do that then, since you have it. I don't have that many clips. But just make sure on the card pocket panel that that lining piece is laying flat. It's not bunched up. You know, because we sewed this liner behind it right here. Just make sure it's laying nice and flat. And then it will be ready to pin, and then we're going to sew 1/4 inch all the way around. I would err on the side of less than 1/4 inch.
Right.
Because this is a basting stitch, not the final stitch.
Or maybe just like at the edge.
Yeah. I mean, like this, you could sew just inside that stitch that you made right here.
Oh, got it.
The stitch you made here, you can just kind of go right on the outside of it.
Okay.
Use that as your guide.
On the outside of it. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna sew. I'm gonna go sew mine right now.
All around.
I have
all the way. All the way 4 sides.
I'm sorry.
On all 4 sides, right?
Yeah, all four sides, and I have a camera set up at my
Okay.
Sewing machine right there, so
Mhm.
you can watch me over there. And for the sake of other people that might be watching the video, I'll be showing them how to put the walking foot on. So you need a screwdriver. Getting my camera set up there. You need a screwdriver to change the foot. So you actually unscrew, you press the foot right here, there's a screw. And you use your screwdriver to loosen it. And you can lift your foot and just pull this out, this entire piece pulls right out. And then you your quilting foot. Quilting foot has this odd little like teeth on it. I don't know what is that tool is. An appendage, and I'm going to slide the appendage over my the knob where you attach your needle. I'm going to attach that first, and then this piece here goes in the screw that you just loosened. So you just loosen and fold apart your regular foot, and this is the piece right here, this little U shape that inserted into the screw. Now you're going to insert this U shape into the screw, and then just tighten it. But you have to slide the latch over the screw that holds your needle first. So I'm all set up. I just need to tighten my screw a little bit. Wasn't enough room to do. There we go. So now it's slid right in. And tighten it up. So we have these quilting foots at the makerspace on the sewing machine there. So you guys can go there if you want to use them. And there should be someone there in the makerspace that can help you change it if you don't know how, or if you don't know where the quilting foots are. But I think that might be hidden away. Okay, so my quilting foot is on, and I'll put my other foot aside. So now I'm just going to go ahead and sew as usual. The quilting foot just happens to allow you to sew over, or walking foot, it's also called a walking foot. It allows you to sew over the portion of whatever you're sewing. Be sure not to fit your zipper. You can also use this walking foot when you're sewing leather. Easier. And I'm just going to pivot and sew up the other side. I just ran out of bobbin thread, so I'm going to fix that. And then trim on the thread. And now we're going to go back to the table and attach the next piece. So now the next step is to attach the lining for this panel. This is the pocket panel, and there's a lining on the back of it. So you're going to need a 9 by 4.5 inch piece of fabric B. So fabric B is my small polka dot. I didn't have enough of the small polka dots, so I'm using this. So it'll be the same fabric that you used for your card pocket and your zipper pocket. That's fabric B. You should have a 9 by 4.5 piece that's already cut out and ready to go. And you're going to lay it right sides down on top of this card and zipper panel. You're going to match up the sides and you're going to sew along the top edge only with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I want you guys to lay it like this with the zipper on this side. Like this. And then you're going to put it right sides together. We're going to pin this. I'm going to just use the clips because it's getting a little thick. Both of these pieces are 9 by 4.5, so they should be matching. And we're just going to sew this top edge. So this is the top edge here. This is the bottom edge. The top edge is where our zipper starts. So that's what I'm referring to as the top edge. And I'm going to go to the machine and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch right along the edge here with my walking foot. So I'm going to pause the recording while I do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so I finished sewing this top edge. And now we're going to iron it open. I'm going to just press the seams open a little because we're going to fold it back like this, and we're going to top stitch along the folded edge. So I'm just going to go to my iron right now and do that, and I'll be right back. So I finished ironing the seams open on the lining that I just sewed, and I pressed really good to fold it back. So you want to, after you attach the lining, you press that seam open, and then you lay it back like this and iron it really well so that it lays flat along here. You want this to be nice and flat, and we're going to top stitch on this edge. So you want to make sure that fold is rolled back. Welcome, Cherry. Cherry just joined, and so I'm rolling back my lining, and now I'm going to top stitch right here on the edge, and that secures the lining so it doesn't keep flipping up. I'm going to go do that right now, and then I'll come back. All right, so I'm back. I finished top stitching the top edge. So the lining is attached. Your lining fabric should match this fabric here, but I had to use something different. So don't be confused if you see that. So we're ready now to go on to the next step, which is finishing this interior piece. So you're going to take the interior panel 9x5 from fabric A. So you should have cut 2 9x5s of fabric A. Only one of them is going to have interfacing. So the other one should already have interfacing on it. And we're not using that one right now. We're using the plain one. And you're going to lay it right side up like this. And then you're going to lay that pocket zipper panel that we just finished wrong side down. So you're going to lay it like this. And then you're going to match up the bottom and side edges. The top edge is going to be a 1/2 inch higher because this piece is a little bit bigger. So my lining piece is hanging, is sticking out a little bit here. I don't think you guys can see it. I'm just going to trim it down. So you're laying it down like this. So all these corners and edges and sides should be matching. It's just this top edge is going to be a little bit higher. It's going to pop up a 1/2 inch, and that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to look. Now we're going to sew the sides, these 2 sides and the bottom, with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. So again, we're going to need our clip. Because the pins just aren't going to cut it. And again, we're just sewing the sides and the bottom, not the top, with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. This part we're not going to sew because that's going to become the opening of the billfold on our wallet that we open right here. Okay, this piece that's opening up here, like that. All right, I'm going to go sew these 2 sides. You can see it, 2 sides and the bottom with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then I'll come back. All right, so I finished sewing the zipper pocket panel to this 9x5 piece. So both sides and the bottom, and I gave it a little press just so that it's flat. So this is our interior panel, and it is done, our piece, our interior piece. So now what we're going to do is go on to the snap. You don't have to put in the snap if you don't want to. You could just skip it altogether. So in the sample I made, I did do a snap, and you were provided a snap. It has this flap, snap close. If you want to give this to a man, usually men, they put their wallet in their back pocket, so you don't need the snap. But women, we're going to throw it in our purse, so we kind of need the snap. It's going to pop open. So think about it. The snap's a little tricky because we're at home and we don't have all the snap tools. But if you have a hammer, and I told you guys to have a hammer in your kit or in your materials, you need a hammer, a spool of thread, because we're going to be using this piece here with the hole. And then there's another piece that you need. You need a tool that looks like this, and you get them with snap kits. If you have a snap kit at home and you already have the tool that has the big flat head and a post with a flat bottom, great. If you have something like this, I had this in my toolkit. This works. If you have an Allen wrench, you could probably make, I'm going to show you how you can make that work. So you need those three things, the hammer, this, and some sort of like post or long screw with a flat, not a point here, but the flat and a flat head, that you could make it work. So I'm trying to show you guys how to do this at home without all the special tools. So that's what we're going to need right now. So I'm going to go back to showing you how to do that. So this piece we can set aside until we're ready for it. And I have just this, some fabric here. It happens to be polar fleece. I don't know, it could be any kind of fabric that I'm going to be using to kind of pad my table while I do the snaps. So first we have to create the button flap. So you're going to take that piece that's 5.5 by 2, and hopefully you've already attached your interfacing. It's 3 by 1, just like this. And we're going to make the button flap, or the snap flap, by folding it in half, right sides together. So we're folding the long side, right sides together. And we're going to sew the sides. So I'm just going to pin the sides. And we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm just stitching these two sides. I'm leaving this open so that I can turn it right side out. 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to go do that right now. So I finished sewing my 1/4 inch edges, and now I'm going to just trim them off a little bit. Just probably 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to press them open a little bit. I'm going to try on my ironing board, and then I'm going to turn it right side out and punch out the corners and iron it really well. And then I will come back.